guys, welcome back to Let's Play Grandia 3. Since last time I've done a whole bunch of work off screen, which saves everybody the time of going and doing more mana egg fusion. Basically, I've done all the fusing that I needed to do and all the extraction that I needed to do, which means I now, let's go to inventory here, I have 4 of every spell, and then even if it doesn't say I have 4, it's because I have them equipped. We have a whole bunch of spells that we can go over. There are some unique mechanics and formulas for how some of them work, and I don't have them memorized, so on screen now. So let's see, we've got Erebos, which kills the enemy instantly. I've basically never used this. Attacking the enemy is usually more efficient anyway. It has a reasonably decent chance of instant death from what I recall. I don't know how many enemies are immune to it. The lack of information about this game makes it easier to just go with our normal attacks and our powerful spells that we now have. Fiora we've seen for a while. Silence. Craze confuses enemies. I would assume that this is somewhat decent, kind of like Snooze. Confuse is actually a really useful status in this game. I don't know how many enemies are susceptible to it, but it might be worth trying out. Australia Zap, super powerful, targets all enemies. We're using it, it's good. Gad Zap has a higher percent chance to inflict paralysis than any other wind elemental spell in the game. I think it's what, 30%? It's on screen anyway. So that makes it particularly useful. So I have that set up. Zap Ball, we've seen. Zap, we've seen. Healer Plus, I got and then basically never used, but it's a more powerful version of Healer. Now everyone just has all Healer, so don't need any of that. Absolute Zero, targets in a line. It's one of the most powerful spells in the game. It's got 7 stars. It's very, very powerful. So we have that on our 2 mages. Crackle Fang targets all enemies. Basically, the way I set it up is I gave 2 powerful water elemental spells and 2 powerful wind elemental spells to my mages, and I gave 2 Gad Zaps to the guys so that they had ways of inflicting status effects. And it's one of their more powerful spells, but it doesn't use too much MP. So that's why I balanced them up. Crackle Fang just kind of lost out because it's just not powerful enough. Gravity, once somebody gets another level, somebody else will have gravity, but basically you get dust eggs and get them from those. Crystal Wall, again, mechanics are on screen. Crystal Wall, it's not something that I use in any fight except for like the final boss of the game. You just don't really need it up until then, so, and you don't even really need it then, it's just useful to have. Absorber, it's a drain-like thing, but it's so laughably weak, I don't know if I've ever used it. So there's that. Poison's junk. Meteor Strike is still good, and someone else will be getting it once they gain another level. We've got WoW for everybody now. I've got it on my 2 non-physical attackers. Burn Blaze, it's a fan type attack. We could have got it earlier, but it just wasn't worth the effort. Ba-boom! Targets everybody. Really good. Exactly what you think it would be. Boomer is kind of worn out its welcome for the most part. It's still useful if you want to use it, but I'm basically setting up to go forward toward endgame now. I'm hopefully not having to do a lot of changing after this. And that's pretty much all for that. So let's just go over things real quick. Both Yuki and Ulf have basically the same thing, the only difference being gravity. I have it here. I don't have it on Ulf because he needs another level. Alfina and Donna are set up exactly the same way, except for Alfina has Meteor Strike and Donna does not because she does not have enough levels yet. Sounding like a broken record. There's your quick look at everybody's stuff there. Pause if you want to take a closer look on that. Alright, you have Perception Counter. Lizard Hunter and Beast Hunter are both useful around here, depending on how you want to set her up. You can set her up physically and have her set with these, or you can have her set up magically and have her set up like I have Alfina with Water and Wind Mastery to reduce the MP cost on some of the more powerful spells that we can use to take the enemies down. Perception is always good. Counter. She got Beast Hunter over Lizard Hunter just by a toss-up, really. It doesn't really matter which one. She just had 2 slots, and I wanted to use them on there. I could take out Warrior's Way and counter and put Lizard Hunter on, but there are a number of enemies that don't have a type in this area, and we want to be able to fight them as well. Here we got Perception Counter, Jolt Counter. Now, you may have not noticed this, because I didn't go over it yet, but books. Anything that was lower than level 6, I just extracted everything out of it because I'm not going to use any of those books anyway. And one of the things that we got from that, go back a sec here, is Jolt Counter. Jolt Counter just increases your damage. At level 3, I believe it's 70%, and without any buffs at all, it's 20%. So it's all right. It's nothing substantial, but I might as well put it there for the times that I counter. There is something else that works with counter as well, and that's called Revenge, and that gives you, I think, up to a 25% chance of using your level 1 special move in place of a counterattack. So if your chance at countering is 70% and you have 25% of that, it's not particularly high, but it's still, what, maybe 10-15% chance that you could get a free aerial slash out there. I don't know if it's all the way leveled up, but it's at least a decent thing to put on. It is a body skill, and it does take 2 levels to use it, and we do only have 2 of them right now from the books that we've got. But there's an option there. The Hunters, Berserker, kind of obvious. Over here, yeah, we kind of went over what you were set up with. I have Legendary Thief set up on Ulf, mainly because he hasn't learned Red Lotus yet, and he's going to be using that to take out entire groups of enemies. Now, hopefully we never have to go over our setup for that long ever again. Ninja Slippers, Sickness Amulet, Ether Egg. You have a Veteran Book, which works well for you. You have the Master Book, Golden Ring, Ninja Slippers. You have that. Ebony Armor still over here. Heal Egg for now. I've sacrificed all my booster eggs to get WoW and Runner. So that's all for that. I don't think we need a different book on you. We could opt for that, but actually, you know what? That's probably better, even though we lose a lot of Warrior's Way, so I'm going to put that on. Paladin book. Do I want you on anything else? No, not really. Sickness Amulet, Glass Slippers, Fairy Cloak. I'm kind of setting you up more for physical. I did keep the sleep cards just because it inflicts a status effect. I may want it, probably not. I think you're going to be doing more physical attacking, so we're going to leave you on that. With that long-winded explanation of all my setup out of the way, let us not ever do that again. And let us move into the jungle. Jungle's got an interesting layout. Seems like it's decently sized. And it has, oh, wow, 4 new enemies in one battle. Well, let's go over this, shall we? Giant Crawfish, it summons allies. Lovely. Giant Crawfish gets a chance of dropping an Aqua Egg. I have all the spells I need, so I have no use for that anymore, but I should point it out. Chameleons can drop a whole lot of nothing, lizard-type enemy. They can do Mating Call. You can see what's going to happen in this area with 2 enemies that summon more friends. Flying Eater is a beast type. It can drop nothing. The Mushroom doesn't have a type. It can still drop a Confusion Amulet just like the previous mushrooms, but it doesn't really hurt us all that much. It can probably still inflict paralysis if you want to protect against it, but a number of the enemies around here can inflict sickness, so take your pick whether you want to protect against sickness or you want Mithril Amulets on. Halnado, you know what, let's use something new, but not with Donna, because that'll use up all your MP. And yeah.
The Storm card. Come, Tornado!
So yeah, there we go. We take care of all of these guys, kind of in the same vein. Halnado can also inflict a counter effect because it's moving the enemies on the screen. So be aware of that.
Hey, were they even trying?
And anyone that Ulf kills will be dropping items now. And we will demonstrate that here if he goes first. Okay, so the crawfish can also use... Yeah, we got some items there. They can also use confusion effects, so you may want to protect against confusion as well. Alright, we'll show this fight off since we can show off some of the new spells we have access to. Do note that Absolute Zero normally costs 100 MP, or 99 MP, but because we have Water Mastery, it does not cost anywhere near that. Same with Estrella Zap, normally 99, nowhere close to that now. So let's see what this looks like. And we'll have you just attack that. Yeah, they have a camouflage ability, and I think that means you can't hit them, which is kind of irritating, actually.
Oh, Moonlight.
So here's Absolute Zero. Let's start demonstrating some of these new spells. Let me know if you want me to demonstrate all of the other spells that I got but never equipped, because, oh yeah, lots of damage from that. The camouflage, if they're still in range of an attack, like they were here, you know, that guy went camouflage himself, he turns invisible. You can't target him with a normal attack, but if he was still in range of a magical attack, he should still get hit by it. Now, because this is a jungle, of course, there's more mushrooms, so we get more items. And we have more birds to deal with, because why not? Wow, they're all going to do different things. You know what I'm doing? This.
Dragon of Life!
Because that way I can leave the battle in, and we can finish off pretty much all the guys around here. Do note that in order to get all of the mana eggs that I needed for fusion, wow, I did need to return to the Bacula Ruins and farm both Quake Eggs and Bomb Eggs. I went in, I farmed like 3 or 4 of each, and that was more than what I needed, but I just figured I would at least mention that. In this particular area, there are 7 items, not including the ones that we get out of the mushrooms here. And, well, in this particular screen, there are only 2 of them. So Ulf killed a number of enemies in here, which means we get free vaccines, which I'm already full on. Probably didn't need to buy any, but I've got plenty of money right now. Alright. Yeah, there's only 2 in this particular screen, but in the jungle in general, there are a total of 7 items that you can get. And that's only the first half of the dungeon, and it takes place on 3 separate screens. Howl Slash, no thank you.
Any card.
Let's see what else we can get out of this fight. Nice. Good damage. What can you show off here? Estrella Zap. Let's try that. You're doing mating call, you're summoning allies. Interrupt your attack. Yeah, you can summon all the help you want to. I have Annihilation coming here for you. Yay, Estrella Zap. This is one of the ones that hits multiple times as opposed to the one we used before, Absolute Zero. So this one will hit multiple times, so it's hard to get an idea of how much damage it actually does, but it's still pretty good. It targets everybody. Ooh, more magic level. Not that he particularly needs it, but it's there. Alright, finished off the rest of the enemies on this screen. And so here's the one more treasure we can get here, which is another veteran book. I believe I actually want to give that to you. Yeah. 2 veteran books. That's actually an important one to pick up, not only just to use for now, but for later as well. Okay, I guess not quite all of the enemies, but all the ones that weren't hidden anyway. I believe that's all for the mushrooms in this area. Because you can get eggs and stuff through the mushrooms here, you may want to zone in and out if you still feel the need to farm them. but I no longer need to do that, so I'm not going to worry about it. The Foley, the sound effects in the background are relatively decent for this area. Sometimes they're a little too much, though. But the music here is kind of more relaxing, but it's also kind of got this deep bass to it, so it doesn't fit with like a more ambient major, like, you know, the rainfall that you end up with. Well, we've made it back here. This isn't really my favorite area in the game for a number of reasons. The first one being, this was where my save file was when my graphics card conked out last time during my test run. Alright, so here, it's kind of a puzzle in a sense, but basically we can push the block from either side. Like, we could have gone from this side and pushed it the other way. It basically gives us two different ways of going through, and two different paths to take, depending on which one you chose. You get to explore both paths anyway, so I wouldn't worry about which one you press. But anyway, what do we got here? Red Lotus and we win. Stone Egg that I don't need. Panacea, which I don't need. Let's see. So I need to go this way. So we want to push this guy in that direction, since we have no choice. Let's see here. So that's back the way I came. And this leads over to some mushrooms. So let's take care of the mushrooms. And let's see. Holy water, silver feather, vaccine, and a warrior's tonic. Alright, before going down there, let's backtrack over this way and take the other direction, which leads to a ladder, which leads down, and I believe gives us access to the rest of, or the other side. Holy crap! Look at all that. All containing cure powder that I don't need, and potion for res potion. At least that's decent. Okay, finished off that battle. Oh yeah, do note there is a treasure chest up there, which, as you can see, leads up in the direction that we, I think, blocked off earlier. And if we head up here, this leads us to the first intersection that we had moved this to. So if we push it this way, it puts it back into the middle. And if we push it again, it doesn't block us off from anything, giving us a fast way back if we want to go back, as well as a fast way forward if we come through here again. Though I think it resets, maybe, if you leave the screen. I don't remember. Anyway. So yeah, we could have turned down this path once we got here anyway, but I waited till we got over here and went down there instead. I believe we have to go this way. So let's push this guy. And so that's that way. That leads to enemies and the end of the area, which is not exactly the direction I want to be in, but oh well. Alright, finished up with those battles, and now we can head down here to the side. And this contains, finally, some new enemies around here. And a healing gem I don't need. Lovely. We've got big bear-looking dudes who I failed to hit. Sasquatch. These are beast-type enemies, and they can drop a life seed. And they can use domination. To each their own, buddy. To each their own. Let's see. You're not going to start moving. Let's use dynamite on that, whatever. I want to see what domination does. Not bad. I wouldn't call it domination. Doesn't seem appropriate, but, you know, shoulder tackle maybe.
Dynamite!
Yeah, we killed that one. Yeah, a little overkill, but okay, sure.
I don't feel so good. I'm alright.
One thing to note is if you have Donna set up the way that I do in a physical manner, she should be able to one-shot most of the beast and lizard-type enemies in here. Putrid fungus will inflict that status effect I was talking about, sickness or plague or whatever. So you can choose whether to let them hit you with it or not. But because we now have the ability to make the enemies drop items all the time, we shouldn't really have to worry too much about having to heal, because we can just use the items the enemies drop in order to heal them. But yeah, Donna can use her cards there to pretty much, like, as her normal attack in almost every fight, because of how I have things set up here. And the advantage to that is that it gives her a little more expert status experience for to try and level up her special, which is already far enough behind. And if I had Red Lotus, I would have used it. I do not. Woe is me. Alright, finished up that battle, and nothing else down here, so if we go over this way, we should be able to get back up to where we were. There's another rope ladder. The area seems more confusing than it actually is, which is kind of a trend for this game, I think. There's a few dungeons that are like that. So let's move that one more time. Let's block off one of the ways back. And this one... Did I go the wrong way? Nope, there we go. That's what I wanted to go for. And, hey, Holy Cloak. Let's see, what do we got here? Holy Cloak prevents sickness. It's better, and then I can alternate this for a Confusion Amulet. So that's nice. More defense. I'm not going to complain about that. I don't think there are any more items that we can get around here. Yeah, just ladders and stuff. Pretty much all the stuff we've already seen. So let us just run straight to the end of this area, I guess. Yeah, I guess. Basically, since we've been getting items and such, like cure powders, I've just been using them off screen to heal instead of my MP. It saves a little bit of on MP, but not too bad. So there should have been 3 items that we got in that area, and this area contains the remaining 2 items that we can get in this area. And I'm going to skip over the save point for now, and I'll take out most of the enemies that we can find around here. Can I do anything with this? No, it just is there. Okay, cool. Oh, there is a new enemy to show off. Sure, we'll do that. Actually, I am going to go save real quick, even though we successfully ran into this guy. They have a chance of dropping something that I really want to pick up. Both a Shining Nut, which I don't really need, but it would be nice, and a Blood Hammer, which is something that we can get. It's a new weapon for Ulf, and it's more powerful than... I think it's more powerful, or it's very close in power and has the ability to absorb. So I'm just going to save here real quick, and then we'll demonstrate a fight with them right away. Okay. So yeah, these guys are relatively strong. They're also not a type of, you know, elemental or anything like that. Who are you going after, Donna? Let's do that with you. And we'll get a bunch of hits in with our combos here. Probably not enough. Nope, definitely not enough. So yeah, we'll use Homing Shot there.
Any card.
Pretty much free when we're, you know, going through battles using, you know, Dragon Slash to end one battle, and then Red Lotus, and then more Red Lotus, and then, you know, use Homing Shot and some normal attacks, and recycle with Alfina using Energy Drive. And that's pretty much it. And I can't use Dynamite. Well, you missed. So yeah, Energy Drive when we need more SP, and that's pretty much all Alfina is going to do in normal encounters right now, is just do that. Unless I run into a battle and she's going first and I really want to use something. So you can use Quake. off by just a little bit. Alright, so where's that? Oh, my phone's almost dead. Sure, we'll use that one, and you will finish it off with dynamite. Okay, you'll go first. Let's hope you drop the flail that I would like.
I'm loaded with dynamite!
Yeah, it's already dead. You don't have to keep trying. Well, there's a...
I don't feel so
I guess that would be the shining nut, or it's one of the random other items that they can drop. Let's see what I get. Shining nut. What does that do? I already had one of those. Those restore a lot of MP. I don't really need it, but there aren't too many of those guys around here, so I don't know if they respawn or not, but I'll find out in between episodes. So there's one. I'll clear out the rest of the enemies now. Okay, we might as well show off Baboom, because I decided I would use it in this fight, and it looks pretty cool. And everything falls down. Yay! Okay, I'll show this part of this fight off because when you run into the second variant of this guy, he can use what's called prey, and he'll prey on any of the enemies that are in the fight with him, and I think it increases his own attack strength or his stats, or I don't know, he's dead so it doesn't matter, but something like that, you know. Oh yeah, he can also use suction, which will like draw, I think, any of the allies around him to him so that he can use a more powerful single targeting type of an attack. But he's not going to get it off, so yeah. Also drops a Crimson Potion, as you can see there, and a Crimson Potion I don't think we have yet, but it's nothing special. Okay, we cleared out all the enemies on the screen, and I don't know how many of the groups there will respawn, but I know at least the one by the entrance will. So I can farm the Blood Hammer there on my own time, and it won't be too difficult. There aren't any mushrooms in this area, but there are about 4 or 5 groups of those enemies. They only appear one at a time, or like one of those enemies, usually with a bunch of other enemies. So it's probably easier to farm the one by the other side. Am I missing something here? No, because I think there was only the 2 chests, if I remember correctly. And yeah, these are just from enemies that I killed. I'm not worried about that. And then if you go up here, I'm not sure if you can use the path the other way, but you can jump all the way over to get back to the treasure chest we just got with Signal's Amulet that we don't need. But yeah, we'll start the next episode somewhere around here, and this is going to lead into the next area, but I want to farm that item first, so I'm just going to I'll kill those guys a bunch of times, and yeah, that's pretty much all for this one, and I'll see you guys next time.